Om Namo Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Nama Namah Samai Saraya Svanubhutya Chakasate Chit Svabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayantavarto Omkarana Dajinano Jayantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayantavarto Netirthachara Jagama Jayantavarto Ananta Ananta Bhava Bedathi Bareli Bali Ananta Ananta Naya Nikshepe Vyakhani Che Sakala Jagata Hita Karini Harini Mohatarini Bhavabdi Moksacharini Pramani Che Upama Apyani Jene Tamara Kavite Vyartha આપવાથી નિજ મતિ મપાઈ મેં માની છે અહો રાજા ચંદ્ર બાળ ખ્યાલ નથી પામતાએ જીને સ્વર તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ગુરુ રાજ તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ઓમ નમઃ સિદ્ધેભ્યો ઓમ નમઃ સિદ્ધેભ્યો ઓમ શ્રી શુદ્ધાત્માને નમઃ. Jai Jinendra. Today is September 14, 2020, Monday, and we are continuing our Atmasiddhi class. 1 second. So we are on the stanza number 6, and we'll just see where we are, and we'll continue from wherever we were left out last time. So I'm going to bring this, share the screen with you. So where we are here is Atmasiddhi stanza 6. We have finished 5 stanza. We are on 6, and we'll see how it goes. Because each one, when Srimad Ji keeps on going, he just re-emphasizes certain points so heavily to us that it just should not get out of our mind. So having said that, we'll start with these stanza, the next stanza, next where we are. We'll start playing this audio here. So what he says over here is Vairagyadi Saparta Josa Atamna means the renunciation, etc. process that I do it. They only will be successful if it is associated with the right faith. So now I don't have right faith right now. So now do I not do this renunciation, austerity, donation, and all those things? Do I not do it? Charity and all those work, shall I not do it? Because they are not successful for me, because they are not with the right faith. Yes, that's true statement. That right faith has to be there. But now I don't have right faith. So then how can all these things be successful to me? So not to get discouragement, he is using the second line. And he says that all this renunciation, and giving up certain amenities and everything, taking the affinity away from the body, etc. But donation, charity, austerity, worshipping, all those things, when one is doing with the intention of obtaining right faith, then they are very important. So 2 points he's getting. First line, he says, you have to have right faith for sure. And second line says, even if you don't have right faith, but if you aim to obtain right faith, then all those auspicious activity you're performing, that becomes meaningful. Having said that, what we are going to do is, where we were, we are done with this part, all these things here. Okay, here. So abstinence and renunciations are means, since time infinite, still one has not obtained benefit from them. I'm existing since time infinite. I do all this auspiciousness since time infinite. Actually, if you look at the soul, nature of the soul in the modification stage, in the modal state, soul is a substance, has an infinite attributes within, and each attribute keeps on transforming every moment. When I say moment, moment means the word used is called samay. Samay means what? Samay means blink of an eye, innumerable samay units pass by. Innumerable means million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, and they are kind of countable numbers. And beyond that, that many samay, that many moments pass by, and in each such moment there was one mode. So each attribute creates one mode for that. So I'm doing this one since time infinite. Day in and day out, non-stop I'm doing it. In that modification that I'm doing, in that modal state, I can remain in the auspicious state or inauspicious state, pap or punya. I cannot stay more than 48 minutes. For example, if one wants to become angry, he looks like a roaring lion. That much anger he may be showing, but it will dissipate within 48 minutes. If you're doing auspicious thought process, it will dissipate after 48 minutes, within 48 minutes. So this kind of auspiciousness and inauspiciousness is occurring to me since time infinite. Even the nigod, lowest form of life, nigod, and highest form of life like human being for transmigratory soul. Human being and on the other side nigod, they both can have auspiciousness and or inauspiciousness lasting for no more than 48 minutes. So what's the difference between me doing auspiciousness now or the nigod jeev doing auspiciousness? What's the difference? So why do I take pride on my auspiciousness? Well, in this Das Lakshan and Parishan Parva, I did so much. I did so many upvas, so many ekasan. I did so much swadhyay reading, etc., etc. So what? It means nothing. If you don't progress from that point onwards, then those things are kind of, you're putting zero after zero after zero after zero. I may have 1 0, you may have 100 zeros. It has no value. They all means zero only. But if it is associated with the right faith, then those value of the zero becomes multifold. So I'm doing all this abstinence and renunciation and all those things since time. Why they are not benefiting to me? Because and what are those activities? I may have taken 5 great vows. When we say 5 great vows, means as a householder, after getting right faith, he observes 12 minor vows. And when he goes from a householder state to monk state, the monk is observing 5 great vows. What's the difference between minor vows and great vows? There are subtle differences. There are subtle differences are there. One such example we'll take it. As a human being in a, and let's say that I have a samyak darshan right now, and I have observed the vows, and I've taken 5 minor vows, means non-violence, non-stealing, truthfulness, celibacy, and non-possessiveness. These are the vows I have taken, for example. And monk also has 5 vows. They are called major vows. All those 5 vows are called major, and for the household is minor. What does minor means? As a human being and as a householder, I have to live in the house. Number one, I have to do my daily activities. Cooking is required, showering is required, putting clothes on are required, certain necessary things are required. So it says that a householder, he should be careful not to commit any violence towards 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, and 5 cents living being. But for the 1 cent, air body, water body, fire body, earth body, and the plant bodies. Those are 5 1 cent living being. Just prior to start of the class, I just said, okay, I have to start my fan right now because it was hot over here. I made to start AC because it's warm over here. I have to take a shower, and in the height of the winter, I may take the hot shower. Or the lady in the kitchen has to cook, she has to use the stove. So fire bodies, air bodies, water bodies, etc., we have to use it. But they say use it judicially. Don't go into the shower and take shower for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, or till the tank becomes empty. No. Take only the necessary water that you need, and then finish your shower. Air condition or light or the fan, etc., you use it, but then stop it once you are done with that. Here we may have to go to in the morning. We are in rushing so much. We just have the lights on and we run away. That means we have abused those 1 cent living being. So those are the things called minor vows. For monks, they are called major vows, that even 1 cent living organism also, he should not hurt them. So that's the difference between minor vows and great vows. And somewhere along the line that will come, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail. Here, control of mind and senses. I had done abstinence and renunciation in the form of 5 great vows. Control of mind and senses. I have controlled all the 5 senses and mind. I have controlled my visual acuity in the sense I don't have to watch movie. I don't have to watch TV and all the things. I can go without. And so on and so forth. So 5 senses, object of 5 senses to control. To protect the worldly living being, 1 cent living being, 2 cents living being, 3, 4, 5 cents living being, I tried to protect them and not to hurt them. To give up house, etc. Or you downsizing, you reduce your requirement, etc. Practice of 8 types of yoga, and there is somewhere on the line chapter on yoga may come, and we'll talk more about yoga. It's the word yoga in the Western world, what we know is totally different than what actual meaning is. We'll talk when time comes. Conducting regular prayer, etc. Intense physical penances. I have done all those things infinite times in the past. Actually, it's been said one place that Muniraj, he uses mupati to cover his mouth. If at so many times we are taking monkhood, that if we take all the mupati and put it together, the amount of mupati's height will become more than Mount Meru. That many times I have taken monkhood, but without understanding the real nature of the soul. Blindly I did. Okay, I become naked Digambar saint, but I did not have internal purity, internal experiencing of the soul substance, and that's why those things became useless for me. Time infinite, I keep on doing all these things, and I'm still not obtaining right faith because something is lacking, something I'm missing. What is that missing element? That's what we are talking right now. In Chodala, Dala 4, stanza 5, the author has written a beautiful poem, and let's listen to that, and I'll give the explanation.
कोटि जन्म तप तपे ज्ञान मेरे घर में झरे थे ज्ञानी के छिन माहित गोपी में सहज तरे थे मुनि व्रत धारे अनंत बार ग्रीवक उपजायो आत्म ज्ञान बिना सुख निश न पायो.
Such a beautiful poem is written, 4 lines. There is so deep meaning to that. It just says, Koti janma tap tape gnana bina karma jare. For infinite lives, I had done lots of austerity, but still, without my knowledge of the soul substance, the karma are not getting dissipated. Gnani ke chinmahi. I have stayed in front of enlightened saints, but mind, speech, and action. But still, I did not achieve anything because I did not have a right faith. Then these 2 lines are extremely famous. This is written by Daulat Ramji about 150 years back, maybe 200 years, 175 years back. And this is Chadala is so famous. It says, Munivrata Dhara Anantabar Griva Kupajayo Pe Nija Atam Gnan Bina Sukhaleshana Payo. I became monk infinite times. When we say monk, we have to distinguish 2 different types of monks. Monk who has naked saint, who has internal purity along with that. So internal purity is a primary thing, and outside associated thing, you see the nakedness and things like that. I have seen those monks in the coldest of the cold weather or hottest of the hot weather. They will be remaining naked. They won't have clothes. They won't have shoes. they'll be walking, and they won't be showing any kind of remorse for that. That much control they have shown towards their body, but there was no internal purity of the soul generated along with that. Externally, he is showing everything right, but internally, there is no purity shown. And that's why he went to the highest heaven, but nothing happened. He came back from there. So internal purity, experiencing of the soul, self-realization, samyak darshan, atma anubhav, all those things are primarily has to be there. Once it is there, then associated thing will be seen in outside. In the sense, when one has a supreme purity within, then outside he will have a nakedness, he'll be a monk, he will not have any possessions and all those things. So these are the things that you can obtain very high position in the heaven, but so what? It's transient thing. After certain years, after a maximum about 33 sagropam years, and then you'll come back to your 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense lives. So just simply becoming monk is not important, but along with that, you have to have self-realization. That is more important. Ignorant soul does not know the meaning of the appropriate religious acts. Well, I'm doing Samaik, for example. What does Samaik means? Well, you have to sit down in 48 minutes to one place. Now, when you are doing that, sitting at one place for 48 minutes, you don't know what to do. So you start thinking all crazy things. What am I going to do today? Whom am I going to meet? How I'm going to do this one? Oh, what that guy is going to do? Is he going to give my money back? All those crazy things you keep on thinking. Actually, Samaik means to get equanimity state within. Word Samaik is so important that the monk who is a self-realized monk, if he remains in the equanimity state non-stop 48 minutes, he obtains omniscience knowledge. Non-stop 48 minutes in equanimity state, in the engrossment into the soul, then he obtains omniscient stage. So what we do by doing Samaik, we mimic that monk state. For Mahavir to stay in equanimity state non-stop for 48 minutes, it took 12.5 years of austerity. For Rishabdev, it took 1,000 years of austerity. For Malinath, it took 1 day, 24 hours. And for Bharat Maharaja, it took only 48 minutes to remain into his engrossment and then obtain omniscient knowledge. So, just because Mahavir had 12.5 years doesn't mean you have to do the same thing, but you have to think. That's called Samaik in real terms. Now, I don't understand that, and I start doing appropriate, I do all those rituals without understanding. Pratikaman, what is Pratikaman means? Well, once a year, I have to go reluctantly to the temple and sit down there for 2.5 hours, and somebody keeps on reciting something which I don't understand, but I'm a captive. Or not necessarily you to do that. You to understand what Pratikaman means. When we did that Kshamavani Puja, Kshamavani Day, last week when we did, just to recite Kshamapna part, Hey Bhagwan hu bahu bhuli goye, main tamara amul vachan Lakshman ida, like that part, that lesson, you remember by heart. You speak that one, and while you're speaking, you imbibe on each and every word. That will be very important. That is called real pratikaman. Means I'm asking for forgiving all my faults created during day, created during night, and all those things, etc., etc. So we have to understand. You can't do blindly all the ritual. I will hate somebody doing blind rituals without knowing. So if you have to do it, ask somebody, why do I have to do this? So understand that one and then do the process or religious activities. Don't do blindly. Ignorant soul remains engrossed in the external forms only. What is the external form? Physical body. Physical body is an alien object for me. I am the soul. For alien object is a physical body. And I'm remaining engrossed in the taking care of my physical body. Hey, is my sugar okay? Is my weight okay? Did my weight go up? My weight went down? All these things. It's a physical body's function. Why you are taking that undue credit? You are the soul substance. Your job is to know, to get engrossed within, to get separated from the physical body. Instead, the ignorant one gets engrossed in the physical body all the time. And as a result, he does not concentrate within. First thing, he does not know what within means. What does it mean to go engrossed in the soul? You always will say engrossment into the soul is very important. But what is engrossment? What exact process happens? That means engrossment into the soul substance. What's a soul substance first to start with? I have to understand that part. Once I know that part, that this is the soul, this is structure and function of the soul. Soul is made up of soul substance, infinite attribute, and at a given moment, there is a mode coming from each attribute, and this is the function and structure of the soul. Now to get engrossed, knowing the structure and function, then to get engrossed. Knowing is very important. If you know that such and such thing is very useful to you, what will you do? You try to get that one. If we understand that my soul substance is very important, to get engrossed in the soul substance is very important, then once I understand, I can try to do process how to go inside. Since time infinite, he keeps on performing the act, but the attention is drawn to the physical body. I'm doing upavas. You know what's the real meaning of upavas? Up means near, vas means to stay. Just to stay near the soul is called upavas. And what did I do? I did not get food today, and that's called upavas for me. So to start with, I'm already screwed up in my thought process. I don't know real meaning of that word also. I'm performing the act, but my attention is always drawn to the physical body. Hey, I have done upvas. I can't eat today. I'm not eating today. I have done upvas today. Why do you have to keep on singing your praises all the time? Okay, you've done upvas, so what a big deal. If upvas is that important, remember, I'm not trying to say don't do upvas, but the importance given to it, one has to understand. Just simply not eating is called upvas. No, actually you do lots of swadhyay that day, you do worshipping that day, you do recitation that day, you just do mala recitation, etc., etc., and you get engrossed within your soul as much as you can. with those kind of activities directed to the soul. That's called real upavas. Therefore, it does not have any meaningful benefit. All these things, above mentioned things, I'm performing, I'm doing blindly without understanding, so I don't get any meaningful benefit that I'm supposed to get it. In actually, the external austerities are performed to increase the purity within. Really speaking, when I'm doing upavas, means I'm doing but this external austerity means now today I'm retiring for the next 24 hours for the food related activity. Think about it. You are going to take a lunch, dinner, breakfast, half an hour before or so, you start singing about, I'm going to take a breakfast, I'm going to take a lunch, I'm going to take a dinner, or you start preparing for those things. Once you're done, which way you may take half an hour to 1 hour, depending on how slow or fast you eat, then the blood starts flowing a lot more to the stomach, and so less is available to the other areas, and so you become lazy. You take a nap. Well, you guys are young people and everything, you don't take nap, but as a retired man, I end up taking naps, so please don't be jealous about me. I also never took a nap when I was working, but now I have earned those things. So anyway, so couple of hours with each meals, they pass by that way. So if I don't take 3 meals, I have 6 hours of extra on my hand. I can do lots of scriptural reading, etc. And I can make that upvas much more meaningful. So they are to be performed to increase my purity within. Real reason for the increasing purity within and thereby shedding of karma is to get engrossed within. What it says over here, I want to increase my purity within, and when when the purity gets increased within, then my karma gets shaded off. You all have gone to Pathshala. You all are being taught standard formula for 9 tattva. The teacher will come and say, this is a great thing we are going to do today, karma theory, and there is a boat, and boat has a hole, and when the boat is in the ocean, that means water starts gushing into the boat, and that means it's called inflow and bondage. Now you plug the hole, that means it's called samvar, stoppage. And then you take the water out, that's called nijara, shading. And once the water is totally gone and boat is dry, that's called moksha, on the path to the liberation. This is a standard teaching with a boat example we have been taught into the Pathshala everywhere. But remember one thing, we are talking everything from karma perspective. Hole occurred, so water came in, that means karma came in, inflow and bondage. Then I plugged the hole, that means karma stopped coming. Then I started taking water out, karma got shaded off. All these things, karma came, karma got stopped, karma got liberated, thrown out. What happened to me? I am the one. I am the end point. I am the most important into the whole thing. What happened to me? God knows what happened to you. We just know everything about karma. But the karma are not my true nature. They are material karma. And material karma has no relationship with the conscious nature soul. I know nothing about soul and I know everything about karma. How good is that knowledge? 10 friends, they crossed the river, came on the other side of the river. They say, let's count that we are okay. Everybody came back okay. They count Lead guy counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Second guy counted 9. Third guy counted 9. Everybody counted 9. And they started crying. We lost somebody, but we don't know whom we lost. Now, all those people counted exactly 9. Is it true knowledge or not? Tell me. He did not count himself and he counted everybody else perfectly. Is it right knowledge or not? When you have not counted yourself and you counted everybody else, it is useless. Once you count yourself and then other thing, then it's called right knowledge. Knowledge has a capacity of self and alien knowing property. Self knowing is very important. You know how important it is? Let's take one example. Let's take one point on it. Samisa stanza 9 and 10. It says, Samisa stanza 9 and 10 says, if you experience yourself, if you self-realize yourself, if you get samyak darshan, if you get a atmanubhuti, that means Kunkun Acharya Dev says to us that you are called Sruta Kevali, scriptural omniscience. Highest position one can get it without getting a Keval Gnan. Keval Gnan is even higher than that, but highest without before Keval Gnan is called Sutta Kevali, means you have known all the scriptural things. How big those scriptures are? The 12 original canons are there. The very first one is called Acharang Sutra. 18,000 chapter and 5.1 million plus slok in each chapter. Now you can count out how many those numbers are. That's the very first Acharang Sutra. Then there is second one is called Sruta Krutang Sutra. Sruta Krutang Anga. That is 36,000 chapter and each one is 5.1 million plus slok. So now it keeps on progressively going up to the 12 canons. How many things now you will know it? Acharya Bhagwan said that if you realize your soul, that means you have known all these things. Something wrong here in this statement? On this side, huge chapters, huge scriptures, and on this side, self-realization. Is it true? Is it a true statement? Kunkun Acharya Dev says, yes, it is true. Why? Central theme in all the 12 canons is to realize your soul. So now you already realize your soul. Elephant end up experiencing his soul, which was Parsnath's life in a second life out of 10 lives. Mahavir obtained right faith as a lion's life. When they get self-realization, that means they are called scriptural omniscience. We are talking about animals. What about us? Same thing. So, what we are trying to say over here, point in the last bullet, karma shedding occur, karma stop coming, and all. It has no value compared to the soul. What happens to the soul at that time? Can somebody wants to try to tell me what happens to the soul at the time of inflow and bondage? What happens to the soul at the time of stoppage of karma, stoppage? What happens to the soul at the time of shading? Can somebody give me, if you understand, if you know it, just let me know. If not, don't worry about it, we'll talk about it. Do you want to just unmute yourself and tell me about that thing? What happens to soul in inflow and bondage? What happens to soul in stoppage? What happens to soul in shading? What happens to soul in liberation? We already have know from the boat example, we know what karma does and everything, but I don't care about karma. I care for myself, soul. You will try anybody? Anybody any idea? Rinku says soul becomes pure when? When is the soul becoming pure? Soul becomes pure and impure with karma when no karma. So do we want to talk about karma or you want to talk about me?
But soul is
Yes,
always
Sachin.
pure, right? Soul has been always pure, right?
Yeah.
It is just that because of the attachment that we do, right? Attachment and aversions,
Mhm.
that it creates an there is a problem. Otherwise, soul's nature has been always pure and it always remains pure. Actually,
Yeah. So you are so right that you just said ashram and bandh, inflow and bondage. That means my inclination of attachment and my inclination of aversion, my rag dvesh are the principal cause for ashram and bandh, means an inflow and bondage.
correct.
Inflow means I'm going to have a inclination of attachment, inclination of aversion, rag dvesh within me. Bondage means how intense those rag and dvesh are. That's called bondage. So astra bandh, they go side by side, they go together. Nature of rag and dvesh is a astra, and intensity of rag and dvesh is called bandh. In general, this is a statement given in the chapter, in the scripture. So now we know rag and dvesh is ashram and bandh, not that a karma coming to me and karma getting bonded to me. That's a karma's job. I don't care what karma wants to do. What happens to me? I invited them with my rag and dvesh. So I am the culprit. Buck stops at me. I am the problem. What happens in Samvar and Nijra? Try that one now. What happens to Samvar and Nijra for the soul? Soul is getting stoppage, soul is getting shading, soul is getting liberation. Means purity generating within the soul is called Samvar. Purity increasing in the soul is called Nijra. Purity is getting completed, it is called moksha. So I have to talk from soul's perspective. Rag and dvesh occurring within me, intensity of rag and dvesh, that's on Astra Bandh. Now the rag and dvesh has made my soul in a altered fashion. My soul is soiled with impurities. Now, that soiling of the soul with the impurity, with the darkness surrounding the soul, now a ray of hope is just generated into the soul. A light has generated, and that is called purity beginning. That's the first time I'm experiencing the soul substance. First time experiencing the soul substance, it's called samvar or it's called stoppage. Means now my impurity are stopped for transiently, momentarily, or whatever. Then I keep on increasing my purity, means my rag and dvesh, excuse me, inversely proportionately start disappearing. My purity increases, rag dvesh inversely proportionately keeps on decreasing. I am the reason, I am the solution, I am the problem, I'm the solution. Then karma can they can come, they can stop, they can get liberated. That's karma's problem, none of my problem. So if at all anything we learn in Atmasiddhi, one thing for sure that I have to talk anytime anything is being said, what is in for me, what happens to soul. To all those things that we are blinded with this karma theory. It's there. And don't read me wrong. It's there, but they are way secondary compared to me as a primary person. I am the primary event. I am the soul. I had to look for me, look for my welfare, not for the karma's welfare or anything. So tomorrow onward, today onwards, anybody, I mean, we have to have mindset. Somewhere beginning of purity, nirjara increasing purity, moksha complete purity within me. So that kind of attitude we have to create within us. And once we do that, life is beautiful. Think about it. Where can I have it? Let me, I think, did I show that? I may have shown. 1 second. Let me try to see. Okay, it may be here. Yes, it's here. We are going to run simple experiment. Watch this video first. So what happened here? Now consider that this guy, this metal board is a inert, and it is sitting next to this paper clip and nothing is happening. Bolt is minding its own business, paper clips are minding their own business. There is nothing, they are just staying together, no problem. But now, when you magnetize this bolt with the electricity passing through the cell, now this bolt becomes magnetized and now it starts attracting the pins. Who is the culprit over here? The magnetized bolt is a culprit. Paper clip says, we were invited by this magnetized bolt. That's why we got attracted there. We don't have to go there if we did not get invitation. So similarly here, bolt is so that if the bolt is without electricity, it's inert and it will stay in its own inert state, nothing will happen. But when you're just putting this electricity for it, then this bolt becomes magnetized, and what it does, a battery and wire means means my rag and dvesh. When I insert my rag and dvesh into this bolt as a soul, then this soul becomes magnetized, and the soul attracts karma to me. Paper clips are karma. So paper clips are attracted to me. Are the paper clips to be blamed? Actually, my rag and dvesh occurring within me are the culprit. And they are the ashram and bondage. And when I take the electricity out from this magnetized bolt, then the paper clip gets separated. They don't hang around with the bolt. And same thing, when I demagnetize myself by reducing my rag and dvesh, by creating the purity generated within me, and then purity getting generated is somewhere means a stoppage of karma. Purity increasing means the nirjara, and purity is completed means it's a moksha. So simple experiment like this can teach us that I am the problem, I am the solution, I had to take the responsibility. Buck stops at me, nobody else is responsible. Not because of you, because of you, because of you, because don't blame whole world. I am the problem. So if we once we start doing that, then our life becomes very easy. So that's what we wanted to say. Let me just take these guys out and then talk something else. Okay. No, not this one. Okay, all right. So, real reason for increasing purity within and thereby shading of karma. Shading of karma is like those pins. When purity increases means demagnetization, then paper clips they start getting removed. So I am the pure problem. I am the solution. Now keep that attitude, and we are going to be very happy, because if we can understand that part, then life is beautiful. My spiritual journey already has started, and now it is going to take us. It's going to go on the faster pace. So here now, next what it says: one who has liking for external bodily austerities. I'm doing Ekasham, I did Ambel, I did this, I did that, and everything. That Ayambil, I don't know if you're done Ayambil or not, but that means no salt and no oil and no sugar and all those things. So the food becomes very bland, very bland. And I did Ayambil. And I have heard people saying that they will do upvas, but they will never do Ayambil. It's so tough to do it. Now, this is bodily activity. Your body, besides your tongue, after the food goes beyond the tongue, stomach doesn't say that you did not give me salt or sweets or anything like that. So simply controlling the taste of the tongue, all these austerities are prescribed, and now I get hung up on that. So one who has liking for external body austerities, he wrongly believes that he can make differences in alien object. I can do this thing to you, or you can do that to me. I can hurt somebody, I can help somebody. You are it is such a wrong notion. We keep walking with that whole day and night. Oh, it's about 2 o'clock morning. I got a call, and it was acute myocardial infarction. I ran to the hospital, did angiogram and did stent and everything, and patient becomes completely cured. Okay, that's good. He was supposed to be cured. You were supposed to be as an instrumental cause. You did not do anything. The patients just simply, he was supposed to, that clot get dissolved when you were simply instrumental cause in that one. If I am taking care of all the patients and they become all right, then what happens to that guy in which when I did the procedure and he ended up having complication? and or death. Then at that time I just say God's will. So poor God, what did he do wrong that he gets to get to be blamed? So first thing, I can't do anything to any objects of the universe. But I falsely believe a dog is walking under the cart and he thinks that a bullock cart is going on because of him giving directions. Such a fool. That's what I am, thinking that I can take care of the worldly affair. If I'm not there, how is this household going to run? Who knows? Once you are gone, this household will run even better than what it was right now. So one should not take that undue credit for that. He therefore remains engrossed in the ego state. I can take care of it. I can do this thing. So he has an ego, external things to perform, and he has that ego. This state is not even the lowest category of the aspirant soul. You are not even nearer to start the spirituality if you believe this way. So Acharya Bhagwan and the author uses over here very harsh words. They keep on hurting us by such type of sentences. But we have to wake up. We have to understand who we are, where we are. Okay, so all these things what we talk so far here, this guy, no, here onwards, ignorant soul does not know. So these are all physical activities we are doing. Means rituals, ritualist who is doing all the rituals. That's what we are talking. Now, this is also ritualist thing we are talking. Now we are talking about the person with dry knowledge. All the ritualists, he believes that he has done all these things. Now one with a dry knowledge, he has his own, he has his own sets of problem. He has scriptural knowledge, but is not having any renunciation from within. He keeps on speaking just for the, he is a great oratory skill and he speaks on all the things, but when the actual application of that knowledge comes, he does not do that. He doesn't have any renunciation. He doesn't have any softness in the heart and everything. I've seen people, when they are reading the scripture in the temple, it appears as if the God is sitting there and reading the scripture. Same guy goes home, changes the clothes, and goes to his shop. I'm talking about India, one of the in India. And the same guy who appeared to be God in the temple, now he turns into devil. In his shop, somebody makes minorest mistake, 5 cents mistake, dime mistake, and he will scream and give the 4-letter words that you may not have even heard those words. Same guy, the angel becomes devil overnight or within 1 hour, within next moment. This is not the right knowledge. You have to have softness within. You have to have modesty within. You have to have straightforwardness within. You have to have forbearance within. You have to have non-greedy state from within. If you don't have it, that knowledge is useless. Renunciation at such a state are the reason and are helpful for one to obtain right faith. There is no action if the cause is not present. Renunciation at such a state, that makes me soft, mellow, straightforward, non-greedy, non-egoistic person, having forbearance within me. And this type of person, when such type of softness is there in his life, and I gave that example last time or time before. Remember that Nimisha's grandpa, when he came here, he was in the Phoenix, and one time he came to my place, and we have just bought the new van, and there all kind of fancy things were there, mood lights and this and that and everything. So at night time I said, okay, uncle, I'm going to drop you to your place. And then I put him in the, he sat down in the van, and I started putting all the lights and this and that. And I thought that he's going to say, oh my God, such a beautiful thing, everything. He's totally unaffected, totally detached, sitting down, low, his eyes down, and maybe his eyes were closed, and he was just reciting something in his mind. That kind of mellowness, the oomph is oozing from him. That kind of thing, when we see, that is an important thing that will help for the right faith. Means whenever there's a cause, there's an effect is seen. If renunciation cause is there, right faith type of effect probably will be seen also. So this is the person for the dry knowledge. He has to have renunciation at such a state. Indifference towards worldly affair, less attention to the bodily activity, detachment from the surrounding, control of the ego are necessary steps for eligibility for obtaining right faith. Simply knowing the bookish knowledge, and you have a great oratory skill and you speak about it, impress other people, it's useless if there is no indifference towards worldly affair or bodily activity or detachment from the surrounding and control ego, etc. One has to have these changes. If these states are present with the knowledge, then such knowledge is worth it. So now over here, so far what we talk, if a person with a ritualistic knowledge, blindly following knowledge and having dry knowledge, and blindly following rituals and having dry knowledge, they both are at fault and they both have to improve. Then something will happen that he can get into the right faith, self-experiencing, etc. Right now, I guess it's already 9 o'clock, 2 minutes past 9. So maybe we can stop over here and we can, if there's question, we can just go for questions. Any questions? Yes, anybody has any suggestions, questions, comment? All right, okay. If not, then we'll do the closing over here. And yes, and no, any question? No? Yes? Okay, all right, all right. જે સ્વરૂપ સમજ્યા વિના પામ્યો દુઃખ અનંત, સમજાવ્યું તે પદ નમો શ્રી સદગુરુ ભગવન, પરમ પુરુષ પ્રભુ સદગુરુ, પરમ જ્ઞાન સુખધામ, જેણે આપ્યું ભાનની તેને સદા પ્રણામ. દેહ છતાં જેની દશા વર્તે દેહાતીત, આજ્ઞાનીના ચરણમાં હો વંદન અગણિત. જાવાણી કે જ્ઞાન સે સૂઝે લોકાલો, સોવાણી મસ્તક નમો સદા દેત હું લોક. જય જિનેન્દ્ર.
Jai Jinendra
Jai
Kirit.
Jinendra, uncle.
જય
Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.